Hey everybody, what's going on? Your host, LovelyCheesePizza here. Welcome back to Let's Play some more Gran Turismo 3, the ultimate driving simulator, and we're on episode 30 of this, by the way. We're like really going, and we're not even a fifth of the way done with this yet. Oh god, we have so much to do. But I have an idea. Because I think that we could go and do more rally races right now, but if we take this path instead, we'll be able to knock out a couple of challenges all at once, and I think it's a good idea that we do it this way. This kind of bothers me though, and I don't know why this exists this way. Maybe somebody can enlighten me on this. Instead of, like, I know that Acura is a US dealer, but why is it that both Acura and Honda both make NSXs? That's so strange to me. Like, I've known that Acura made those. Like, I thought that's always how it was. But I've also known via playing these games that Honda also makes NSXs, and that is weird to me. And unfortunately, for when we do the Type R meeting, we have to have this one, which kind of throws a wrench in things, because we could do the Stars and Stripes thing with an NSX, but it has to be the Acura one, because it's a US car, and that's so weird to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like overthinking this, and it's not a big deal, but it bothers me. It's just such a strange car being made by two different brands that are just both making the same car. I guess is really the only way I can really nail that in. So, but the thing that's good here is that, you know, we'll probably be able to use this NSX later down the road, which is always a good thing. And we're going to have to be careful on how we do this. We can't get any of these, which is fine. I guess I'm okay with that. See, that's the one. That's the one that we want. We're going to be okay with that. I probably should buy some tires, but you know me. I don't like to do the things that make the most sense. So we won't buy the tires yet. And then 34 hundo means that we're going to get this guy. Actually, we're not going to do it yet. What we're going to do, and we're going to build up a little bit of money first, and then we'll go do that, is we're going to do the frankincense and myrrh challenge here, because that one we should be able to knock out with absolute ease. And then we'll go work on the Type R meeting, because we'll have enough money that we'll be able to maybe not only buy probably some sport tires for that car, but also buy the racing exhaust, whatever the hell that was. Oh, speedsters, yeah! I like those speedsters. They're actually really cool looking. I really like the body style of them. But you know what? Sometimes you just gotta take them to the cleaners. And that's what we're gonna do. And just as it begins, we can pretty much preface this entire thing by saying, Mama, there goes that man. Because there's no way in hell these guys are gonna catch up. We have just an overwhelming advantage here, and I'm okay with that. Like, I'd love to be able to kind of just dispatch these nice and easy, and it'll give me a little bit of, Michael Buffer to work out, you know, how to handle this car for when we get into the more difficult races. And it's actually really nice. Like, I particularly enjoy the way that mid-engine vehicles handle, because they're still a little bit loose, kind of like rear-wheel drive cars are, but they're not quite as stiff as front-wheel drive cars can be. It's just like a nice happy medium there in the middle. And so I think as far as those go, these are probably my favorite cars to handle. Can they still be a piece of shit sometimes? Absolutely. Like, if you oversteer just enough with these guys, they will come back and screw you in your sleep. Luckily, I don't think we're going to have to deal with that. I think we're going to be able to put these guys in the grave and walk away nice and easy. And while we do it, I have things that I can talk to you about, because one of these things, I'm completely astonished that it's actually happening. Like, my brother and I were kind of randomly joking about this probably like 2 weeks ago. And like totally without having any prior knowledge that this was actually going to be a thing. And like, I know that a fair amount of my audience is a little bit younger and probably won't know what this is at all. And there's people that are probably my age that won't even know what this is at all. But apparently, for some reason unbeknownst to me, the alcoholic beverage Zima is making a comeback, and that to me is absolutely hilarious. Because, okay, for those of you that don't know, that are not familiar with what Zima is, Zima was like, in the 90s, it was like a clear, very lightly carbonated, like malt liquor beverage that was distributed by Coors, and it was called Zima Clear Malt, and it was a really light alcohol, which is why I believe, and I could be wrong on this, but I believe that it was like a really popular alcoholic beverage of choice by gay people. Like, in gay bars, apparently it was like a really popular drink. Not saying that that's like a bad thing. I mean, you gotta have your audience, man. And it was a low alcohol. It was like 10 proof. So I mean, it was about as standard as like your regular beer. But I think because of the fact that it was carbonated less than your other standard beers, that, you feel like you can drink a few more of those without feeling kind of the weird gassy bloats. And so that was the thing. But it was kind of just, it was something that got really popular during what they called the clear craze back then. Oh boy, God. There was a time back in the 90s called the clear craze where things like Zima, a clear beer, or Crystal Pepsi, when, Crystal Pepsi was a really big thing, even though it just made a comeback, so maybe we're re-entering the clear craze. And there was also clear Tab. Tab was a strain. I don't think I've ever had Tab before, to be honest with you, and I kind of really want to do that at some point. Not the clear one, I just want to try regular-ass Tab. So yeah, that was like a really big thing back then, but apparently it got discontinued, at least in the United States, in 2008. Like, it was out of production here in the States in 2008, but apparently this whole time, I didn't know it, but apparently in Japan, they've still been selling that crap like crazy over there. So maybe, maybe Coors was looking at this like, hey, it's still doing hella good out there. Might as well give it a try. Like, what's the worst that could happen? We bring it back over here and people don't like it again, and then we just send it back, or just remove it and let Japan have all the fun again? I mean, what the hell? And so they're gonna bring it back, and I'm totally gonna buy. I'm gonna buy one. I want to buy one just because I've got to know. I have a story about Zima from when I was a little kid that has been bothering me for years. So when I was a little kid, I remember this so vividly for some reason. Like, I don't know why this is a memory that is like so etched in my own mind for some reason. There are so many other memories that I probably would have rather had in my mind than this, but it's crystal clear in there. It is Crystal Pepsi in my brain. So I remember when I was a kid, somewhere around the age of like 7 or 8, when I lived at my first home in Salem here. It was actually just a few blocks away from where I live right now, believe it or not. We had 2 refrigerators at our house. We had one in the kitchen, obviously. That's usually where people will have refrigerators in their home, unless it's that weird commercial about something where I don't remember what the hell it was. I think it was like Zillow or something, where somebody's like, "Oh, I see this house has a very interesting outdoor kitchen type of setup where your like the kitchen's inside, but the refrigerator's outside," which is the strangest thing I've ever heard. But so we had the standard fridge in the kitchen inside, but we also had our auxiliary fridge in the garage. And I remember for at least like a couple of years, every time I would go out to the garage to get to get like a pop out of the fridge or a soda or whatever the weird debate we're going to spark up out of that, of what you actually call it. I've called them both. I call them pop, I call them soda. I don't really care. It's tasty juice that's going to eventually give me diabetes, and I'm going to slowly morph into Wilford Brimley until, I have an all-white mustache and a cat that is vaguely the same look, which is terrifying. But I remember every time I'd go out there to get something out of that fridge, I'd look in there, and there was always these 2 bottles of Zima, 2 of them, and it was the same exact ones. Like, it's not that my parents kept buying them, and and every time it was just a coincidence that there was always 2 in there. It was just the same 2 that were in there at all times. And I will tell you that on probably at least like 50 different occasions, I almost grabbed those things and tried drinking them. But obviously, you know, with any alcoholic beverage, it's got, you know, the safety lid that you can't just pry them open with your 8-year-old bare hands. And to me, I didn't know it was a beer. To me, I just thought that they were like really fancy looking bottles of water, because they didn't even look carbonated to me. Obviously, because they're way lightly, or they're much lighter carbonated than that. But I had so many instances where I wanted to have it, but I never had it. And so, like, as soon as I read that it was making a comeback, I could just hear, like, the 8-year-old me screaming through the ether of time and space, "Damn it, Adam!" Because apparently I would have said "damn it" at the age of 8, even though that was, like, not even part of the lexicon of my speech. But I was like, "Damn it, Adam! You have to buy these! 8-year-old you wants to know what it tastes like!" And, like, the worst part is, it's probably terrible. Like, I'm sure that Zima can't be that good. I mean, it really can't be that good. Is it probably better than things like, you know, Hamm's or Milwaukee's Best or, you know, Natural Ice? Probably. It's probably on par with them at least, but there's no way it's better than those. And it can't be the worst thing I've ever had. I mean, let's be honest. I've heard people say that it actually kind of sort of tastes like a little bit like alcoholic Sprite in a way. So, I mean, I like Sprite. I like alcohol. What's not to love? You know? But I just thought it was really funny that it's coming back. Like, it's so weird that we live in a time right now where we're so caught up in the idea that we need to bring all of these things back from the grave, more or less. Like there's so many things that we can't allow them to be dead anymore. Like our forms of innovation for, like, new things in a lot of facets is really just not up to par at all. And so it's just like, you know what? We're not feeling very receptive to creating new things, so hey, let's totally just keep pulling stuff out of the 90s and 80s forever until we eventually all run the carousel and kill ourselves. But yeah, it's gonna be cool. And, like, the other fond memory that I have of Zima, for some reason, by the way, and I don't know why this is the other main memory that I have of it, is I remember on, like, I think it was like a New Year's episode of David Letterman, where, you know, he does like his end of the year, you know, top 10 list type of things that he used to do all the time. And it was I don't remember what the category was, but all I remember is that I heard it while my parents were watching it, but all I remember is him saying, "Who put the Zima crap in the eggnog?" And for whatever reason, you know, 8-year-old me thought that was the funniest shit in the world. And I still didn't even know what Zima was. Like, I knew it was, oh, that's the weird stuff in the fridge. But why is it bad? Like, why would it be bad to have that in eggnog? Because I hadn't really had eggnog either at that point. I've actually only had eggnog like twice in my life. And just the whole premise behind that is, it was so weird that, like, it's like, okay, so now he thinks it's weird. Now I'm even more intrigued to want to drink it, but I can't go and drink it, you know, while my parents are here, because, you know, what if they wanted to have it, and now they can't have it, and they're going to get mad at me, and I'm going to get grounded, and I won't be able to play video games for a week. Like, that's not a risk that's worth taking to me. Oh, God. And so I ended up letting it go, and next thing I knew, you know, it was just out of my life forever. But now it has crept through the ether of the world, and it's going to be in my life at some point. I'm going to find out where it lives, and I'm going to bring it into my household, and I'm going to have some. And that's just what it's going to be. And I will give you a full-scale report on what that is. I may even have it during an episode, just so we can all revel in it together. You know, you guys are involved with this now. Like, I'm not going it alone here. I will have to have somebody along for the ride. I just now realized we've been driving this NSX for 2 races now, and it just now hit me that the driver's side of this car is on the right. I don't know why I just now realized that. I'm pretty sure, like, all Japanese cars are going to be like that, aren't they? Well, okay, let me bring up this question, because I honestly don't know this. Is the United States and probably Canada so basically, is North America like the only place in the world that has the driver's side on the left side of the car? Because I'm pretty sure in like you know, Britain and Europe and most other places, I'm pretty sure the driver's side is on the right side of the car. So is it just like Is it just the fact that we're just fucking weird over here and we decided, hey, we're gonna break all conventional wisdom and we're going left? Like, I couldn't, like, for me, I couldn't imagine trying to drive a car on the right, like, from the right side. That would seem so weird and foreign to me that I wouldn't be able to stand it. What do we got here? Is this a, cool. A little, yeah, a little Mr. S here. Which just reminds me of, what the hell's his name from American Dad. Hey, Mr. S, I'm gonna go smoke some pot. That's a terrible, terrible, terrible representation of Jeff. Yeah, it's Jeff. That's who the hell this is. Okay, let's go. Actually, I don't even know if we even need to pick up tires right now for this car. Like, it handles surprisingly very well. It would probably still be a smart idea if we did it for future reference. But I don't think we're gonna have enough money to do it. I think we need 5,000. We do need 5,000, so we're not gonna do it. Okay, well. Well, shit. Kind of in a weird spot right now, then. So, okay, this I think is what we're going to do, then. What are we at for percentage? 18.7? Oh, God. Alright, this is what I'm thinking. I think that in the next episode, what we're going to do is we're going to go move our way. We're really coming along here. We're getting close to being done with the Beginner League. We've got the Stars and Stripes. We've got the Silver Arrow, we've got the Beetle Cup, we have the Type R meeting, and then the World Championship. So we're really doing well right now. So I think what we're gonna do in the next episode is we're gonna start tackling the Type R meeting, and I'm gonna hope to God that we do really well in there, because we should be in pretty good shape. I mean, the only cars that are drivable in here is this. And so we have a significant advantage over all of these other cars that are in here. The only thing that I would assume that would pose anything at all, maybe, would be like the Integra Type R, or maybe I don't even think that Spoon Civic would even be able to hold a candle. So unless, you know, this thing is loaded with, you know, half NSX, we should be able to run away with this thing pretty easy, I think. So I think we're going to be able to jump into this. We're going to be able to do pretty well. Should be able to win all 5 races with, you know, moderate ease. And then we'll probably have enough money from that we can go and start working in probably the Stars and Stripes Cup. So, with that said, my friends, I think we're going to stop right here. Oh, another thing about Zima before we stop real quick. I don't like their slogan at all. I really don't like it. They had a couple different ones, but seriously, that one of their taglines, they had a couple of them. One of them was seriously called "Something Different." Something different? Really? That's the best you could come up with? Oh, it's something different, but with a Z! Oh man, boy, would have never seen that one coming. Really took a lot of effort to throw that one out there, Todd. Good job, man. I really hope you got fired directly after you came up with that, because that, my friend, is horseshit. Even for the 90s, where being cheesy was delightful, that is beyond the line, and it is terrible. So, with that said, my friends, we're going to stop right here. When we come back next time, we're going to have more fun. And if you guys enjoy the video, do tap the like button. It helps me out immeasurably. And if you want to see more in the future, do subscribe. I'm going to be posting plenty of these in the future. We have so long to go. So until then, my friends, I will check you guys later. Take care, and enjoy a Zima if you can find it, and you're of age to do it, because I'm not going to be responsible for telling you guys to drink when you're not allowed.